into 101. That is episode 101 of the Definitely Dads. We're live. Not really, but it's a recording. We're on YouTube at least. There's video now. There wasn't before.
Hey, they would not have known if you wouldn't have said anything.
But I'm Zach, for those of you who haven't watched before, and that's Justin. And we're the Definitely Dads, and we're here to bring you great dad content because we're just two everyday dads living everyday dad lives. And we just got a lot of stories to tell. And ultimately, that's what this podcast is for. Is to just let other parents know they're not alone in the craziness of life and what it means to raise kids in just this wacky world of being a parent. And none of us got it figured out. We're all trying to figure it out. So, yeah, Justin, how are things going in the Stover household? I know you were just telling me you got bit by a spider.
I got bit by a spider.
It's a while. I shouldn't be laughing, but it's funny for some reason.
Day 4 or 5 of it. 4, I think.
Jeez.
Got a pretty decent sized lump swelling on the underside of my leg. It is not an ingrown hair. That was what I thought it was at first. But after Christina did some further investigating, there are little teeth marks in the back of my thigh, right in the meat. He got a good bite. He knew where he was. He knew where he was going. I'm assuming he went right up the leg, up my sock, up my hairy legs, and right to the beefy part of my.
Was this in the middle of your sleep, or you just didn't feel it, or what?
I have no idea. I got no clue when it happened. So
wild,
but it's there, and it's getting better. The swelling's going down. It sucks because like where I sit down though, it's underneath. It's like on the back of my.
Oh yeah, so then it's just.
Oh, it's on everything. Yeah,
it's gross.
So I have that, but we also had Jackson's 5th birthday this weekend.
Big one, 5.
We had family in town, which was also fun. We had all the grandparents here. We did something different this year, which we haven't done yet. Usually we've hosted birthday parties and we've done all this stuff, and parties are great. It's a lot of work planning a birthday party.
A lot of work,
especially when people are coming over to your house. You got the setup.
True.
And I think worse than the setup is the teardown. When everyone leaves, there's trash everywhere, and you're just cleaning up, and then just the awkwardness of like having to host people in your house.
Yeah,
especially with parents and stuff. So for Jackson's birthday this year, we opted to rent out one of the party rooms at Sky Zone. And
nice.
For those of you that don't know what Sky Zone is, I don't know where they are. They're everywhere, but it's like a trampoline park. And so we did that. We paid for 10 slots. We had 10 kids, parents. We paid a flat fee. It comes with pizza and all that stuff. But they're helpful, man. They like brought out the gifts to the car after on a cart. They helped bring all the balloons in and the cake in. It was like the full deal. And for the price we paid, I think it was probably a little bit more expensive than a party, but having the stress relieved from you of like having to like host, it was well worth it. And I think we'll probably wind up doing stuff like that moving forward.
It's a great thing to bring up because like when it's your kid's birthday, we've gotten, I feel like most birthdays we have gone to for our kids, like our kids' friends, it's at their house. And I'm like, because we know as parents, it's not helpful. It's stressful. You have to clean your whole house. There's a whole bunch that goes into it, putting up decorations, the whole thing. And then you got to clean up after. We should normalize having kids' birthday parties at friends' houses. So that would actually be
someone else's house.
As someone else's house, that like a close friend or grandparents or something like that. Right. That'd be way more helpful.
So they can clean
then you
it
don't
up.
have to clean up, and that would actually feel like a sweet party.
Right.
I don't know, just a thought, because we got Micah's birthday coming up in July.
Right.
We're a ways from that. I said coming up like it's around the corner. It's not. It's in July.
It'll be here before you know it, though.
It'll be here quick. And I'm just like, man, we just did this for Cammie's birthday, cleaned our whole house, did the whole thing, had tables and stuff set up for parents to sit here and hang out. I'm like, do we really want to do that for Micah again in our tiny house?
You could do like a park.
Yeah, we could do a park.
Bring a couple trash bags in a park, and that, that would probably
be hot in July.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sorry, I just saw my son. He's supposed to be sleeping, but he just walked up right
Micah?
Here. He's like, he just waved at me, and I'm like, oh crap, he's only been sleeping for like not even an hour.
But I'm sure he knows what you're doing, right? Because like my kids know. Yeah. Oh, Dad's 100%. Recording.
He knows what's going on. He walks in, he sees me sitting here with the microphone. He knows we're recording. So
yeah. We did the party though. In-laws flew in, my parents all came out, and then after, just the family came over to the house after, and then we actually went to Olive Garden for Jackson's birthday, which is his family, which was fun. But
do your kids actually eat stuff from Olive Garden?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish, man. My
off
kids
the kids menu. So we did that. And again, I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast. We, as a parent, you love all your kids, no matter how many you have, 2, 3, 4, 5. You love them all the same, but differently. And Jackson's just like super easy to celebrate because he's like, out of the 3 of our kids, he's the least self-centered. Like he got an Amazon gift card, and with the gift card, it was like a bunch of candy, like good candy. It was like Reese's candy and stuff. And he's just like giving them to his friends. Like, you can have this one and you can have this one. And I'm like, dude, like if that was Jaden would be like laying on top of it, making sure no one touches it.
Those firstborns.
Yeah. So he's like super easy to have, like force him to be the center of attention. And he loves it. But he doesn't ever ask of that. And so this was probably my favorite birthday we've done for one of our kids. Was just seeing Jackson in his like get all the attention. It wasn't a joint him and Jaden his birthday is February 16th. Jaden's is March 3rd. So we've done joint parties in the past. And I think it's always harder for your middle kid or the younger one of that group to, like, even if it's a joint party, to not kind of succumb to the oldest. And having this huge thing for Jackson. And it was really cool that my in-laws came down for Jackson's party. Like, not Jaden's. I mean, I mean, ideally you'd want everybody here for both, but it was fun just getting to do that for Jax. But then Christina had our anniversary yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna do something this upcoming weekend. 8 years.
Come on, dude.
Are you guys on 9?
Yeah, we're on 9. We'll be we're on 9. So we'll be 10 next January.
Okay. So yeah, we just celebrated our 8-year anniversary. And then for the first time, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, after being married in a monsoon, like a literal, I don't know, what was it? The worst storm in like 100 years in. Yeah,
it was.
in Santa Barbara.
Named this storm Lucifer. If that gives any context.
There was so much water coming down, dude.
Yeah,
that was insane. But you guys still got married, so that's great.
We still got married, still worked. But then for the first time in years, I woke up at 220 pounds.
Come on. That's a win. That's not a bad thing for those listening.
It's mostly due to a stomach virus I've had for 4 days.
So it's not because of clean eating and dieting.
And I'm still kind of wondering, because I don't feel sick. I'm a little fatigued. I mean, I'm using the bathroom like you would not believe.
Bummer.
I don't need to get too descriptive to what's going on, but if I've lost that much weight, you can kind of piece it together. Here's my question. Do you think it's coincided with my spider bite? Because they're about the same. It's so okay. Remember when we recorded last week? Did I put the microphone up to my stomach because it was growling?
Yeah, you did.
It started right about then. Both. Because I think I noticed the spider bite the next day, I think.
Huh. I don't know. You're the animal guy. I don't know much about spiders and insects.
I don't know what bit me though.
To know, right? I mean, I have no idea.
I've had those issues. I haven't been nauseous. Just not thrown up. It's coming clear out the southern side
the other way
of the nation of Justin. But 220, and so pretty motivated to take the little head start here.
Yeah.
And see what I can do with it. Don't feel strong at all, but
Yep.
I think if I can keep it here, I can build back and be okay. So anyways,
if you can keep in and out off your
it's just hard
runs,
to do down here. Yeah,
that's tough. But if you could eliminate those, I mean, that's going to be a start. You go protein style.
You were in town last week. Your flight got canceled.
I was, yes.
How is it being back? Were you relieved to be home? I mean, it's always nice sleeping. I know where you were sleeping most of those nights, and it's not a comfortable situation.
Yeah. It was great to be back home. I loved, again, my kids' reaction is always one of the best things when you get home after being away for a long time, and they run and jump into your arms and smile at you and give you a hug and stuff. So that's always great. But yeah, sleeping in my own bed was really nice. I'm not going to lie, on Sunday, I crashed out on the couch, dude, and I was still tired, just recovering from that trip. So my flight on Thursday night got canceled, had to leave at 3:30ish on Friday morning to get to the airport. Spent half the day flying on Friday. Saturday, tried to just recover, and Sunday I fell asleep on my couch and woke up and it felt the same as sleeping on those beds down at Life. So that was a bit tough. So it was nice to be home. And you know what? I know it caused a lot of chaos, but I'm thankful I didn't fly in that storm. So I was dreading it, dude. I was not looking forward to flying. You
mentioned for the first time a little flight anxiety.
A little bit of flight anxiety. Was not pumped to think about flying.
Why do you think that is? And was this rainstorm affiliated, or do you think there was something more there where you just were a little
storm? One of it, the storm was affiliated. Two, I have had terrible flight experiences.
Okay.
Whenever I fly, I rarely have just a smooth, easy flight. Even my flight down was a smooth flight.
Turbulence, or the Alaska doors flying off mid-flight?
No. So honestly, at this point in my life, if a door flew off mid-flight, even if we landed safe, I'd never fly again. I just don't. That would ever happen again.
Right.
But so my flight was smooth on the way down, but then my bags got lost.
Right.
So it's stuff like that just seems to happen every time I fly.
So you're just waiting now for something to go wrong.
Dude, every time I fly. Last year when I flew down, when we flew out. Okay, so when I flew into LA last year, I flew into Santa Ana. You picked me up. It was a freaking enormous storm. So flying into Santa Ana was terrible.
Right.
Flying out was when they had those Santa Ana winds, and it was 30-mile-an-hour gusts. And leaving LA, dude, this is the first time I got sick on a flight, and I didn't actually throw up, but it was the first time I got actually sick to my stomach on a flight because we were bouncing around so much on the way home. I've taken multiple international trips. I've been to Israel twice. Both times we've had flights canceled for that trip. So it's just every time. And even coming home, my flight to Yakima from Seattle was delayed. So it's just I don't know
overnight.
why, but no, not that one. So we got up the next day on Friday, flew to Seattle from Ontario, and then my flight from Seattle to Yakima got delayed.
Oh, okay. So what time did you get in?
I didn't get home till about 2 p.m.
So you left here, you left Southern California to drive to the airport, which is only 20 minutes from here, maybe.
Yep.
You left at 3:45 a.m.
Yep.
And you're talking you're not far. You're not flying across the country, but you did not get back to Yakima until 2:30ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a long day of travel for not that far.
And so that was a bummer. So I just feel like I always have these travel things that just keep coming up that suck. So it makes me not motivated to fly very often, to be honest.
Right.
So all of that was kind of contributing to this uneasy. It
had nothing to do with all the news stories as of late about planes going down.
Well, that was definitely part of it.
Because what is going on?
Dude, there was 3 last week, right?
And I think another one just went down. Yeah.
2 weeks ago. So seeing that stuff definitely did. Honestly, we were sitting there in the loop, me, Chantal, and Skyly, who flew together. We're getting ready to fly back home. And
the Loop is a coffee shop on the campus here, for those that don't know.
Yeah, and she was sitting there saying, yeah, but she was kind of happy too. She was saying, I'm kind of happy we're not flying too, seeing all the airplanes go down and stuff. And I was like, we got to not talk about this.
Yeah, why would you bring that up right now?
I can't go there. We're about to sit on a plane for 2.5 hours. Please don't bring that up right now.
Right.
So all of it was all of that just left my gut a little uneasy flying home. So I'm very thankful to be back and driving my truck around again. That's great.
Yeah.
So
which you do have a higher chance of getting in a car accident, but it doesn't feel that way.
Sure don't feel that way.
No.
Feels a lot less risky for some reason.
Yeah. I'd rather crash going 45 with another car than having something go wrong. If something goes wrong in a plane, you're screwed. Yeah,
because if something goes wrong on a plane, your chances aren't great. If something goes wrong on the road...
Unless you're that lady that fell 33,000 feet and got wedged behind the snack cart.
So here's what's nuts, dude. Is while we were flying, I was sitting there wondering, if we start going down right now, how could I try to like pin myself up against something?
Where's the drink cart? Get the drink cart.
Where's the drink cart, dude? I don't remember what episode that was, but you could go back and listen to that on Spotify. We talk about that. Some lady survived.
Fell like 33,000 feet.
33,000 feet. She survived in an airplane because she was pinned up against the back because of a food cart. Pinned her to the wall so she couldn't. When it hit, she survived somehow. Yeah. That is insane to me still.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was being great. It was great being down there. It was great golfing finally together. We talk about that on our last episode. I loved all the food. I got Wingstop. I got In-N-Out. Got Chick-fil-A. Got all the things I wanted. So
I'm surprised you don't have an In-N-Out in Yakima.
So one is coming to Washington.
Okay. Well, where? Because that could be anywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say it's down by Vancouver. Yeah, it's way down there. So it's still a ways away from
basically Portland.
Basically Portland. Yeah, north of Portland by probably 30 minutes. So yeah, we're getting one. Washington State is getting one, but it feels pretty.
It's not a small state though. You know,
yeah, surprisingly not a small state. So
I wonder where it ranks on the state size list. But yeah, that Vancouver from where you are is like you're not going to drive there for In-N-Out. It's not even 40 minutes.
3.5 hours probably of driving to get there. So
a little out of reach still for a burger.
We didn't do our celebrity weights like we talked about doing. This is episode 101. Do you have any other celebrities that came to your mind who might be 101 pounds?
Well, I think when we're at this like really light range, it's going to be a lot of the same people. I think Sabrina Carpenter.
Same females. Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter was, I think, a great guess for being 100 pounds. I think you said online she was what, 115? There's no way.
Someone said something like that.
Yeah, there's not a shot. I think you get into like other people like the Rachel Bilsons from the OC, from Heart of Dixie. I don't know how tall like Zoe Saldana, which we've talked about her a couple of times in this podcast, but she's like rail thin.
Yeah, she
small. Could be. I mean, these are people that you could probably put between 100 and 105 pounds.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think she's a little taller.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of the short female celebrities. Like, who are the really short female celebrities? Probably most of them are, and I just don't realize it because I don't pay attention. I think they're all pretty.
Well, some of the girls are kind of tall though. A couple of them. There's some really tiny girls, and then you'll see girls that are like 5'8", 5'9", that you're kind of surprised.
Yeah,
we're that tall. But I think I'd peg like Rachel Bilson's got to be like 5'2", 5'3", and she's tiny.
Yeah, she's.
But I think she'd be a little heavier than like Sabrina Carpenter or. I mean, she's kind of got a Kristen Bell.
Not built like a fire hydrant, is what you're saying.
Right. But I don't know. Did you have anybody else? Any new names? Maybe 101 pounds.
I had a few earlier when I was thinking about it, but I'm blanking right now. I can't remember any.
Nate Robinson.
No, he was more than 100 pounds.
Devontae Smith.
Sure looks like he's 100 pounds on the football field. That's for sure. But hey, he's got a Super Bowl ring now, so
he does.
Who cares?
If he's wearing it, that'll put him over 100.
I'll add 5 pounds for sure. Yeah. He's over 100 with that
for
sure.
A later episode.
I do have some trivia for us, because we talked about this on our sports episode a little bit. We're without football right now, and we have a long time until football comes back. So I'm not going to give you the date. I looked up the date. I know when the next football season starts. I want you to see if you know how many days. How many days are left until we get the first week of NFL football back on that Thursday night game where the reigning Super Bowl champs play whoever they play. But it's always a Thursday night.
So we start
week 1 of the NFL season. Kickoff happens that Thursday night.
September.
How many days?
So week 1, not preseason. You're talking week 1.
I'm going to give you 10 days. That's your window. I'm going to give you within 10 days.
So you're talking September, October, November, December, January, mid-February.
How many days do we have until day 1 kickoff?
195.
That is a phenomenal guess.
I'm close.
It's just shy. You're in the window though, so you're going to get it right. You're in the window. It's 198. We're 198 days away from the first game of the NFL season, which when I looked that up and saw that number, it was kind of depressing. I was like, that's a long time.
That's not as bad though, because it's better than like 240, 250.
But that's like week 1 kickoff, right? We'll have the preseason before that. There's going to be the draft.
Football in 140.
Exactly. We're going to have other stuff that starts to kick off.
The USFL?
USFL.
Or the UFL?
You know what? I'll definitely turn those on every once in a while.
They're good just for like a Saturday, 11 a.m. You're at the house.
Yeah, I don't got anything else to do.
And there's nothing on. Yeah, 100%.
There's no good golf tour on. I'll turn one of those on and just check it out and see.
Yeah.
This is a bunch of no-name college players that didn't make the NFL.
Well,
but
you'll still see. There's still some NFL guys though that played in the NFL or college guys that were really good that didn't pan out, like Bo Scarborough.
Oh yeah.
It was in there. Who was a linebacker from Arizona? I think he played at Arizona State, right? Scooby Wright or U of A? He might have been at U of A. I don't know if you know him, but that white linebacker, number 33, tattooed sleeves, was really good in college. I think he got drafted probably 7-8 years ago, but he's just a little too small. But he's out there.
Is that where the running back from Arizona State this last year is going to end up?
Well, that's in the UFL? I was kind of joking about Cam Scatterbo.
Yeah.
I was kind of making a joke about that, but I see him on a lot of mock boards as like the third running back going off.
That's what I'm saying. I see a lot of teams that are actually really interested in him, which I'm like, is this just a bad running back draft, or is he actually that good and they see something in him? I don't know. I can't tell. Like, is he just another Peyton Hillis that's going to be on a Madden cover and then be gone in 2 years? Like,
he'll probably play fullback or like an H-back.
That's what I would think too, but
you just can't be that. I mean, he's not slow, but I mean, let's be honest, dude. We know what we're looking at.
He's not fast.
A big, bulky, white running back is not.
His option for success is Mike Allstott. You have to run like Mike Allstott did for the Buccaneers back in the day to be a successful white running back in today's NFL.
Yeah, and he was 250 pounds.
Right, he was big.
I mean, he might have been more. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he's going to go. I think he'll get drafted, it sounds like, but if lots of guys get drafted and don't stick, and so I don't know. But he is the epitome of like a UFL player.
Yeah, he's the first person that came to mind. I'm like, we're going to see him in 5 years in the UFL.
Right.
That's where my brain went. And no shot at him. He's probably a great player. He's way more athletic than I am. I never played college football, but so props to him. I just see you playing in the UFL. Sorry.
Right.
We're going to move on to our second segment here, and we wanted to do something. I saw a video about this on TikTok, and I thought it was actually really funny, and I thought it would be great to apply to our lives. And I saw this video of these two parents talking about the house rules. And so Justin and I have both come up with some rules for our house, but the idea being that they just give a glimpse into our life and are kind of the opposite of what we actually ask our kids to do. So I'm assuming that most people will catch on to this pretty quickly and how funny it is. But so I just want to introduce some house rules for the Bogar house. So when you come into our house, these are just really strict house rules and maybe new parents out there, if you're listening to this, you can adopt these rules to just help your house and the orderly conduct of your house. So first rule in my house is every kid must talk with outside voices all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Why not?
6:20 in the morning, outside voice. Got to use your outside voice. If everybody else is sleeping and you're the only one awake, got to use your outside voice, you know? Even when you're saying something completely private that no one else needs to hear, got to make sure you're using your outside voice all the time. That's key for our house. We got to keep the noise level up.
That's going to be a pretty common thread, I think, for most households is the volume in which your kids converse or argue.
Man. It's all the time, dude. It's all the time.
Yeah. Ours in the Stover house, we only have one bathroom. So it would just make the most sense to make sure that everyone has to use the bathroom at the same time. And it usually starts with me because I'll go, no one will use the bathroom for an hour. And I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. And I got to go sit on the throne, the dad throne. And as soon as I sit down, the door opens up. And it's usually Jaden. Jaden starts. He's like, I got to go pee. And I'm like, are you serious, dude? Are you for real? And it happens every time. And then he goes, and then I sit back down. And then within 3 minutes, Jackson comes in. I got to go to the bathroom. And then we have this thing that here, if one of us has to go to the bathroom,
form a line.
Why not? Why don't we all go together? and it's foolproof. It happens every time.
It's great.
That's and a great it actually triggers me quite a bit, to be honest.
New episode for things that make us rage will come out here in a little bit. We'll do a version 2.
Yeah, we can do a whole new version of that with the age our kids are at now, because I'm sure it's all different.
Another very strict policy in the Bogar house is that dinner every night must be met with, that's not what I wanted.
Right. Yeah.
Even if it's actually what they asked for and wanted, we got to make sure we're being kind and courteous, and we have to say this isn't what we wanted, and there's got to be some grumbling every night. It has to.
It only makes sense. Let's keep it easy.
let's just keep it easy. It doesn't matter what we put on that table. It could be their favorite food, and it's going to be met with, that's not what I wanted tonight.
Okay, so if you could win a large sum of money, and the whole point of the premise, the whole point was pick a meal. And if any of your kids say anything, you lose all the money. What would you pick that would maybe get them to not say something?
Both of them? It's got to work for both of them? Or I could do them separate?
No, both of them.
It's got to be both of them?
So it's one meal and you can't have them complain or you lose the money. What food would you attempt to get on the table to not get a negative comment about the food?
Right. I see what you're saying. Oh man, probably breakfast. Probably a breakfast meal.
Like pancakes, waffles.
They both love breakfast. Pancakes would be part of it, but it would be probably eggs, bacon, sausage.
And they would both be like pretty happy with that.
Eggs, bacon, sausage, fried eggs. As long as it's fried eggs. If it's scrambled eggs, it's gone out the window, right out of the gate. They like fried eggs. They like runny eggs specifically. So if the yolk's runny, my kids love runny eggs.
If I gave any of my kids a runny egg, I think they'd have a hard time computing what was going on. They'd be pretty upset.
Yeah. So if I did some fried eggs with hash browns, bacon, sausage, and then like some pancakes on the side, that might do it. Oh, orange juice. And if there's orange juice, that would be a winner as well, because they would definitely ask for that at some point.
I think I'd have to do like cheeseburgers or pizza. Now though, like Jackson's kind of like been asked. My
kid doesn't like pizza. Yeah,
which is wild. Jackson likes pizza, but like Jaden and Sophia love it, and Jackson is like, she's our least picky eater. Well, Sophia's not super picky either.
My other one that almost came out, I was going to say, sorry to cut you off, was going to be Costco, because Cammie loves Costco pizza and Micah loves the hot dog. Yeah. So we could potentially get away with that too. That would be the other.
Yeah. I think right now our kids are in a huge cheeseburger kick.
Oh, cool. I love that.
Jaden loves cheeseburgers now. Loves them. And Jackson does too. Sophia likes them, but she doesn't like cheese. Sophia loves cheese, but she doesn't like it on her burger. It's the only thing she doesn't.
Yeah.
And then she's also our ranch girl. So my boys like ketchup on everything, and she likes ranch. And if we make hot dogs, my boys like their hot dogs with ketchup on it, and she likes her hot dog with mustard.
Oh, interesting.
So she's all ranch. If you give her fries,
she's just cut from a different cloth.
Yeah, if you give her a thing of French fries, she won't want ketchup. She wants ranch. And if you give her a hot dog, she won't want ketchup on it. She wants mustard.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I did laugh because being down there with you guys and seeing the dynamic of your boys run around like Wolverines,
wild animals,
and then seeing Sophia just sit at the table so nicely, just eating her food quietly. Yeah. And at one point, you looked at her and you were like, "You can't do anything wrong. You're perfect."
She can't.
Just
yeah. She's the only thing she's doing now is she stays up so freaking late. That girl is awake till like 11.
Oh,
she'll get up and have to go. Tough. She goes, "I gotta go pee pee," and then we're gotta go potty, and she'll get up and run to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's tough.
And then sometimes she'll go twice. She'll go and then she'll go back to bed, and then she'll get up again and go pee. But food is difficult, and that is pretty common. Yeah. My next one in the Stover house is if you have to close the door, you have to slam it.
Oh, yeah.
Our kids
I experienced that first.
Yeah, our kids don't know how to close the door without slamming it. And we have these
sliding glass door too. They did it too.
Yeah,
the sliding glass door.
Our slider. We got these big, huge, heavy, fireproof doors in each room, and they're heavy, and they're actually hard to slam. But if you follow through, so if you can't really. I mean, I could swing it and slam it shut, but like. My kids do the whole, like, they push it all the way and fall through and slam it. So their hand is on the door when it hits they
push it all the way closed.
Yeah. And it's a loud slam every time. And I really love it. It's one of my favorite things that my kids do.
Yeah.
Is
again,
slamming
just
doors.
Keep the volume up in the house. That's for sure what a house is for.
Jaden is a sound nut. And so, like, if he's in our room, because a lot of times when they want to watch a movie or something, if I got a game on or me and Christina are doing stuff in the living room, like it is very frequent that we'll like, okay, go in mom and dad's room. We'll put on a movie for you guys. Look in our bed.
Yeah.
And if we leave the door open, 30 seconds, slam. Yeah. Jaden slams the door. I'm like, oh my gosh, son. So
love it.
Yeah, door slamming is a must.
The next rule in the Bogar house, kids must wait to tell every detail of their day until they are in bed and it's time to sleep.
Yeah.
You can't say anything about your day before then. You have to make sure it all comes out when your head is finally on your pillow and you're ready to sleep at the end of the night. That's when you can finally tell us all your stories.
Who gives you the longer wrap up?
Oh, Micah, dude. For sure. He is a yapper at night, dude.
That's so funny.
And we tried to even mitigate this a little bit by sitting at dinner. So we sit at our table every night for dinner as a family. And we do, there's a lot of families that do like highs and lows, like what's your high of the day or low of the day. We do, what was your favorite part of your day and what was your hardest part of the day? So something very similar.
Yeah, similar.
We try to get the stories out that way.
Right.
It just doesn't matter. Micah will wait until he is in bed. And then all of a sudden something clicks in his brain and he's like, oh yeah, I have all this stuff I forgot to tell you earlier.
Right.
And he'll just start going, dude.
Right.
There's been times, don't call me a bad dad for those of you listening to this. There have been times we have closed the door on him and just walked out while he's talking because he won't.
That's really cool, Micah. Cool, buddy. Go to bed.
Literally, dude, he won't shut up. Yeah. So we have to just be like, all right, man, good night. And he just keeps talking. I'm closing the door.
That's so funny. They sleep with the door closed?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't do doors open. It'd be too much for them. They'd stay awake the whole time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, my kids would freak out if we closed the door when they were asleep.
Yeah. Doors, it's black. I mean, each one of them have like a little clock that has some light in there, like a little night light. But yeah, doors closed for sure. And then, Bree and I gives us the privacy of our house when they go to sleep.
Right. Nice. Yeah. Well, another rule we have in the Stover house is they all need to want the same thing. And so
Ooh, that's
if there's one
great.
cup that has like a dinosaur on it, they all want that cup. It's utensils, it's snacks. One of the things we run into frequently right now is spots in our house. So on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
I was sitting there. That was my spot.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my gosh. And it's all three of them. It's Jaden, Jackson, and Sophia. They all have this fight about the spot. And same thing in our bed. If they come into our room to watch a movie, they all want to be in this certain spot. And it's really ideal to have that happen too. It's not like we have a huge couch or a huge bed that they all have tons of cozy space on, but they need to be same spot. It's also blankets. I wanted that blanket, or I was going to get that blanket. And I'm like, dude, there's 4 blankets in there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter which one it is. It's not like there's a favorite. The favorite is just whichever one
changes
the first
every
one got
day.
to.
Yeah. Right. 100%. I get it. That's a great rule.
They make it really easy for us.
Yeah. It's a great.
And I'm thankful. I'm really, really thankful that's
great rule.
Something we have to work with.
The next rule in my house is whenever our kids go to fill up their water bottles, we have because when I remodeled our kitchen, we got a new refrigerator because I wanted the water spout to be on the outside so our kids could fill up their own water. So it is a rule in our house now that when our kids fill up their water bottle, they must fill it up all the way over the brim.
Right.
And spill water onto the floor as they're trying to screw the lid back on.
Right.
And just leave it. They don't have to worry about cleaning it up.
You got to make sure it's full.
You got to make sure it's totally full all the way to the tip top rim because we're concerned about our water intake. And yeah, you have to leave some water on the ground. That's part of it. You have to leave some on the ground and not clean it up. That's a big one in our house too. So anybody walking through our kitchen with socks on, just be prepared to change your socks after because there's going to be water on the ground, kind of a thing.
Yeah. That's also a Stover thing here. It's bro, you can go back. Our house is not humongous. You can fill your cup up 3/4 of the way, drink it, and if you need more, guess what? You can go back. It's still free to you. You can still go get water.
It's got to be so full it's coming out the top of the straw. That's how full they're trying to get it.
Yeah. Another rule we have is, they all want the same thing: utensils, blankets, spots, all that stuff. But they also have unanimously agreed to all differ on what shows or movies we're going to watch.
Absolutely.
So I have sat on the Disney Plus or Netflix homepage for if I could log the hours I've spent just scanning through stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, hurry up and just pick something, or I'm going to pick. And it's that whole dilemma. And with 3 kids, 2 is a little easier. It's probably a little easier for you guys. It might not be, but like the problem is I'll have a movie where it's like Jaden and Jackson want to watch it, but Sophia doesn't. So I'm like, okay, well, let's keep looking. And then I'll see a movie, and then Jaden and Sophia want it, and then Jackson doesn't want it. Then I'll go to the next thing, and Jackson and Sophia, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys have got to freaking pick something. So landing on a show or a movie
that would be harder with 3
that they can all sit down and want to watch is it's like pulling teeth out.
It's tough.
I wish there was a genre that like Disney or Netflix you put together that was like, if you're a multiple kid household with like 3 or more and different varying age groups and genders, these are the shows that they'll like, but there's not. So,
or even if it was just like a random playlist that jumped from show to show with different stuff in it.
We've done that. And sometimes that's how I kind of get by, like being able to leave the room. Cause I'm like, if Jaden wants to watch a Ninja Turtles episode, all right, Ninja Turtles first. And then the next one, Jackson can watch his Grizzly and Lemmings. And then Sophia can watch Gabby's Dollhouse, and it's that. But we are hitting peak difficulty right now where you can see like the boy-girl difference. Sophia's starting to like the really girly shows. And that's the boys
our problem
are like,
right now. Is because Cammy's 7. Mm-hmm. So she loves stuff like Gabby's Dollhouse or like Lego Friends, which is like a high school version of all these friends hanging out. And Micah's like, I want to watch Lego City and I want to watch Lego Monster Trucks or whatever. Right. So, that's a good one. It's a good rule.
Yeah.
It's a good rule to have. My final rule, again, for our house, this is very, very important. Being told it's bedtime must be met with total confusion and utter meltdown.
Well, they're betrayed. You've betrayed them.
Yeah. So we cannot have a night where we say it's bedtime and we just go climb in bed and are ready for bed.
Right.
It has to be understood like it's a new routine every night when we tell our kids. So bedtime.
Well, you're blindsiding them, really, and it's unfair.
Right. Yeah, because we've never done it before. It's a totally new thing every night.
So when you tell them that, what does Cammy do?
I mean,
does she have a go-to reaction that she does all the time?
She's more of our negotiator. She'll try to get more time.
Okay.
Like, but can we do this? Can we read still? Can we do this? Can we sing still?
Yeah.
She's our negotiator. Micah is our meltdown. He just toast, dude. It's bedtime, and he's like, "What?
That's what
it's
Jackson
bedtime again?"
Jackson
goes,
kidding
"What?
Me?
Yeah,
no."
Micah is thoroughly confused, and I'm like, "Dude, it's after dinner. We did the shower. We got our jammies on, and you're still not comprehending that
You've been on this planet for almost 4 years, buddy. You got to figure this out now.
We've done this routine for almost your whole life."
Right.
And you can't, it's really that blindsiding that when I say it's bedtime, you don't realize it's bedtime. So yeah, all that to say, that's a very crucial rule in our house.
Yeah. Jackson gives us the big, what?
Yeah.
No. And it's just like,
I want to play more.
Puzzled. And I'm like, dude, what do you think? You got school tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's ours. Well, that's all I had. You ended on a good one. It's also nice. A rule we have in our house as well that the kids do abide by.
And for all those out there watching, we would love to hear some of your family rules from your household. You can comment on this video or comment on Instagram. We'll have a post about this. We would love to hear what some of your rules are, and we'd love to share them with our friends as well.
If we get some good ones,
I think it'd be great. Well, I think there'd be some good ones out there too. So yeah, we'd love to hear from you. This is episode 101. I'm Zach. That's Justin, and we got more stuff coming at you next week. So we'll see you then.